people, I'm Ginnymetheral. I'm a 4th generation witch, and today's video is something a bit different because I've been getting quite intense in my videos recently, and I thought I would lighten the mood. After all, I am a fun witch, if nothing else, and so I thought we'd do a little witchy room tour, show you what I've got in my room, what I use it for, and what I find the most important. So this is my witchy room tour. My room is in the old hayloft above our stables. It is accessed by these rather scary ladder stairs. This paintwork was put here by the previous occupants, who was a vicar and her family, and she used to hold the church youth group here, and they painted it this rather jolly colour. One day I would love to repaint and redo this whole room, but at the moment, you know, more pressing repair work is required for our house, like the chimney falling down. So this is what we're doing at the moment. I do have a fire which I'll turn on. It's very noisy. Because it's absolutely freezing in this part of the world. Up here, this is just some recording equipment that I've got, a microphone and a stand, and this is just a Wi-Fi. This swinging seat came from India, and I got it as a Christmas present from my husband. We all had to buy everybody Christmas presents, but we had a budget, and I think the budget was £10. And he got this for £10, and then we had to get it back from India, which was considerably more than £10. However, I love it. This is the old rocking horse I had for the children, which made it up here because it has so many fond memories. And I love a rocking horse. I think they've got a really vibrant energy to them. I believe that those sorts of toys impart that energy to the room. So, moving on. You might have noticed I keep a lot of bits and pieces along the edge here. These are rather fun, aren't they? They are very good for casting off evil spirits. I rather like them. They were very cheap. They just came from Amazon. It's the bells and the ribbons and the energy you imbue into them that makes them work. And then this is something rather special. This I bought many years ago. I think it was one of the first witchy things I ever bought when I was about 18. And it is just an essential oil burner with a candle in it and a pentagram on it. In this bowl is the remnants of my sage smudge stick. And it still works, so I haven't replaced it. But yeah, I've had it for about 8 years, so I don't see the point in replacing it. It still works, and so I keep it in that bowl. I do smudge quite regularly to keep out those bad jujus. You can see these are spell jars that I've got. I think they look rather pretty, so I keep them there. To be fair, I cannot remember what these spell jars are and what they do, but they're all over and I probably should get rid of them, but they look nice, so I have kept them. If we look underneath the table here, I've got my box which contains my most used essential oils. So we've got lavender, rosemary, good old rosemary, cinnamon, rose otto, that is my favourite. Rose geranium really is my favourite actually, and lavender. So that is my sort of favourite selection of essential oils which I keep for my burner. Rose geranium, one of my favourites. So here is my selection of cards that I use, and as you can see I've got some kipper cards on top. Kipper cards are 36-pack card deck, and these ones they look like this, and they've got very detailed designs on them, as you can see. So each one's, I'll turn it right the way up, and these cards are obviously divination cards. You use them very much like tarot, and they're quite fun, Kipper Oracle cards. I quite enjoy using them. They're very useful for client sessions because they can give a very detailed, immediate response. As well as those, I've got the standard tarot, Ride of White, my old tarot looking a bit dog-eared now, and then a variety of these other oracle cards. So moving along, you can see this is a stopper bottle and it's got a droplet lid in it. And these are for when I make the potions that are based on alcohol and essential oils and maybe even some crystals in there, and they are very good for sort of emergency pickups, a bit like the batch flower remedies. For example, I made a bottle of this for my daughter just before her exams, which would help calm her, ground her, and make sure that she was concentrating to the best of her ability. And when I was grief-stricken when both my parents died very suddenly, I got through many bottles of these. It was very good for the car because I'd drive along in the car and I'd start crying and then you can't see and then it becomes dangerous. So then I'd have some of this, just a couple of drops on my tongue. So these are a really useful part of my witchcraft. This is my little incense burner. And here I've got incense to go with it. I think this is copal incense and this is frankincense. Oh, it looks like it's a mix actually. Incense burners are great for getting your intentions out there. Next to my chair I've got my table, which has got a couple of drawers in it, which if I turn it round you might be able to see. And I don't know what's in these drawers. Let's have a look. Nothing. Good. It's always slightly worrying. Ooh, a bag. Oh, these. I don't know if you can see them. These are cards with each of them has different signs and symbols on them in different colours. And I use these with my coven when we're working on opening the third eye and getting a connection between two people. So you can give, say, a set of these 10 cards and one of you can go through them, the other one can try and guess them. The average, I believe, is about 3 or 4% a success rate. And so if you get above that, then you're working on your connection and you're working on your third eye. It's particularly good to do this with children because they're particularly clever at connecting to people and getting the thought. Moving on to my other table, I've got candles, obviously. Oh, this is quite sweet, isn't it? It's a rabbit skull, which I quite like for using in bone magic. Oh, and my secret box, which has got, oh, the world's tiniest hagstone in it, look. An excellent demon repellent. And then obviously some pens, so I write everything down all the time. My wand, and all of those who've been with my channel for a while know that I have a very strange wand. It's just a piece of glass, but it works for me. Also a hagstone. I'm never without a good hagstone. Excellent protection. And some more candlesticks. That is generally what happens on my side table here. So moving around from my chair, so a selection of feathers. I use feathers for cutting in all the time when smudging. Of course, sacred scissors. These were given to me by a friend, aren't they sweet? Gold-plated stalks. My singing bowl, which I love. And coloured pens, so useful. These are just cheap felt tips, obviously. But when you're writing out intentions, they're so useful to have a book of coloured pens. I've got a very pretty bottle which my mother gave me and I put my moon water in, but I'm out of moon water this month, so I must make some more. Here is my incense burner. What's it called? Joss stick burner, and a variety of joss sticks. I buy joss sticks wherever I find them, and I like different ones that I haven't tried. Green pins and a selection of candles. Of course, every witch has to have a mortar and pestle. You need it. And a ceremonial knife. This is mine. Ceremonial knives. I mean, mine's not very beautiful, is it? I do use it especially for witchcraft, which I think is important. I've got some bell decoration here. Bells are very good at keeping away evil spirits, and by the work that I do, I need that. So that's why I've got quite a lot of repelling evil stuff in my witchy room. The more you work with magic and the more you work anti-demonic entities, the worse you will be attacked, because that's just how they work. It's great, isn't it? My bookshelf is filled with the children's books, and then I've got some very pretty little totems here, playing cards, because I use playing cards for divination. And then this section here is actually some of my witchcraft books. And then moving along here, these little animals, these little whimsy ways are excellent. So I've got a pig, and I've got a crow, a black cat, and a cockerel. And these are great in spell work as reproductions. Then moving down, you can see I've got some more witchcraft books here and more children's books. They're all interspersed actually. A mirror, very, very useful for divination and scrying. So that's why we've got this here. And then a piece of slate so I can put candles upon it and use it on my altar, should I make an altar. I'm not a Wiccan, so therefore I don't follow gods or goddesses. However, I do like to honour seasons and honour the time of year. I find that very useful in my craft. So this is my witchy room, witchy corner, but I've also got here a hammock, which is very comfortable. I do share this room with the children for their sleepovers, and so this hammock is great fun and comes very useful, as well as the swinging chair. This is a futon in here. Look what's on it. Every witch needs a witchy hat. And this is mine. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So I've got lots of different, slightly old candles, lots of these tea lights, which are very cheap. And then for coloured candles, I use birthday cake candles because they are very cheap, easily available. You know, I find it quite difficult to get a pink candle or a blue candle or a green candle in the supermarket, but they do have birthday cake candles. These don't burn for too long, which I also like because I'm a bit worried that I might set alight my loft. Corner cupboard, which has in it just things like a teapot, a large pot of salt, some wine, there's ingredients and varying bits of filming equipment on the bottom. But very useful. And of course the obligatory stained sofa that you always have in your attic spaces. Yeah, it got eaten by the dog, so it got relegated to up here where it has just sort of deteriorated happily. But it's quite comfortable. I like this sofa. Now next to my sofa you can see I've got some material. These are actually altar cloths. This one I burnt the other day, which was great, not so happy about that. But I have a selection of altar cloths and tablecloths just to decorate my altars when I do them. And finally, I have the view. Isn't it magnificent? I'm very, very lucky. I would love to know which part of the room is your favourite and what you're jealous of. I often see witchy room tours and I'm very jealous of pretty much everybody's. But I love mine. My room has a really great energy which I can't show you on film, but it smells delicious and it feels safe and warm and loving and fun. It's where I do my client sessions. So to make this room as clear, as warm and receptive as possible is really important. Let me know in the comments below which part you like. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next week.